We've gone digital now.
Let's talk a little bit about prostate.
Let's talk about health in general.
Health in general. I've been focusing on prostate. Never mind, health in general.
Health in general, what we should be eating, and what should we...
I've got a PowerPoint presentation entitled 10 Steps to Healthy Aging. Okay? And I'm going to see if I can remember everything in that presentation and just share it with you for the few minutes that we've got. Normally a presentation on PowerPoint will take about an hour and a half. Okay, and that's what I'm going into at 8 o'clock tonight. 10 things, seriously, that you should be doing to age healthily. I'm going to tell you how old I am. At the end of this year, I'm actually 82. Ooh. I meditate, I pray, because when you pray, you send out energy, you send out vibrations. Everything is vibrations, okay? I have no animosity towards anyone. I try to love everyone, okay? That's crucial, because if you have animosity, you lower your vibrations, okay? That can bring on stress. Stress brings on inflammation, which brings on disease. The first thing I would say to you is cut out sugar out of your diet. And I'm not talking about the 2 lumps you put in your cup of tea or coffee or what have you. I'm talking about the hidden sugars, okay? Remember that if you take up, if you take up a cartoon soft drink or anything on it, there are 3 words you have to look out for. High fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, okay? One of the worst sugars you can put in your body. The other one is concentrate. That means that the sugars have been concentrated, yeah, from different sources. And the third one is something called aspartame. And if you see any of those words on any cartoons that you're drinking yourself or buying for any of your relatives, don't put it in your body. Remember, sugar is a worse driver for high blood pressure than salt. People always talk about salt and sodium when it comes to blood pressure, but that only accounts for about 5% of your blood pressure. Okay? Sugar is the main driver, right? And anytime you see any word ending in OSE, it's a sugar.
Say that again?
Any word ending in OSE is a sugar. Glucose, fructose, lactose, dextrose, yes, they're all sugars. And these are hidden sugars. And when you eat your crackers, yes, and your bread, and all of that stuff, you're taking in a lot of sugar. All right? Wheat is one of the worst things you can put in your body as well. Because there's a hidden sugar in wheat, yes, that a lot of people don't know about. It's called amyloid pectin A. And a lot of people who talk to me, they say, oh, I gluten-free. And I say, oh yeah, tell me about it then. So when they take the gluten out, which gives wheat its taste, what do they put in its place to give it its taste? Sugar. And wheat is the first GMO product, okay? So watch out for sugars. Sugar is also one of the main reasons why people get diabetes. Yeah, it creates inflammation in your body. And inflammation in turn is the root cause of, say, 95% of disease. So if you can eat to counter inflammation, okay, then you reduce your chances of getting any kind of dreaded illnesses. I'm going to jump straight into cooking oils. So tell me what cooking oil the missus uses at home. Or if you live on your own like me, what oil do you use for cooking?
Sunflower or coconut.
Sunflower oil, no. Coconut, yes.
Olive oil.
Olive oil in moderation.
Right.
Otherwise you're going to put on weight, okay?
Grapeseed.
No. Coconut oil, yes. Avocado oil, olive oil. That's very good at this. If you go in, sorry?
Fried as well.
Fry it.
Is that for frying as well?
Yes, yes. It's the coconut oil is really what you want to put in your body because of the wonderful things it does. And I'll just run through a couple of them for you. Okay? If you want to lose weight, or know anybody who wants to lose weight and cannot exercise, all they have to do before they go to bed, take a tablespoon, dip a tablespoon of coconut oil, swallow it, and go to bed. What happens with coconut oil is that it's a fat, it's a carbohydrate, but your body doesn't see it as such. Okay? Your body burns it straight away. It doesn't store it. It burns it straight away for energy. Alright? And a couple of other wonderful things about coconut oil is that your liver converts the lauric acid in coconut oil into something called monolauric. Okay? And that is then further converted into something called ketones. People with Alzheimer's, for instance, there's a classic case of, a doctor called Dr. Markland from Florida, whose husband had stage 4 Alzheimer's. Couldn't write, didn't know who he was. She tried every medical thing, nothing worked. And then she said, oh, I hear people talking about coconut oil, all of that is anecdotal, and there's no proof and no record. But I'm going to try it. Within 4 months, he was back to normal.
Wow.
Because coconut oil, these ketones, can penetrate what is known as the blood-brain barrier. In fact, it takes the place of glucose. And remember, Alzheimer's is literally type 3 diabetes. The underlying causes are the same, insulin resistance. Okay? But I actually changed my prostate presentation, which I was working on. And the idea is, I'm going to tell people how to prevent prostate issues. Yes? And coconut oil is one of the first things you should be taking. The other one is turmeric. Anybody likes a good curry?
Oh dear.
Right. If you're going to use turmeric at home, it doesn't work on its own. So you have to use another antioxidant or another spice called black pepper. So anytime you're going to use turmeric, you have to use black pepper with it, okay? Because the compound in turmeric, which is called curcumin, is only bioavailable when the compound from black pepper, which is called piperine, is present. Otherwise, you're wasting your turmeric. Okay? So let me tell you what turmeric does for you. It counters cancer. So does coconut, by the way. It helps you juice your chances of getting cancer. Turmeric will also make your prostate gland shrink if it is swelling, if you're suffering from something called BPH. Yeah? You know what BPH is, yes? Yeah.
No.
It stands for benign prostatic hyperplasia. So benign indicates that it's not cancerous. Prostatic, related to the prostate. Hyperplasia, a swelling that's over and above what is normal. Okay? That's what all of us suffer from when we reach a certain age. And we go through what is in men is known as the andropause. Like the women have a menopause, men have an andropause. It's more subtle, right? But you'll know when you get to your 40s or so, you'll find that instead of flying at full mast, a little bit.
Understood.
What's it?
Was like what?
Tell us what you look.
I have a morning.
Right. Now, instead of flying at full mast, you fly up, right? And if you're it's two hormonal changes, really. Your testosterone, which is the male hormone, starts to drop off.
Estrogen.
Now, if there is no balance and the testosterone is dropping, what is increasing?
Estrogen.
Estrogen, the female hormone. That's why you put on a bit of tummy, yes? You your libido goes down a little bit. You know, you don't desire sexual activity as much as you used to. And all of that is part of this hormonal change that takes place in men. In actual fact, from the time you reach 30, and I don't see anyone in here under 30.
Keep dreaming.
He's at home.
When you reach the age of 30, your testosterone, which is your main hormone, drops off by 10% every 10 years. Yep. Right. So now you have a problem. Your testosterone is down and your female hormone, estrogen, is up. Okay? So what are you going to do now to rebalance that? Because everything has to be in balance, yes? If you understand the principles of math, balance in everything you do.
True love of nature.
Right. First thing you can do to raise your testosterone level is to get lemon, all the way lemon, get the skin, boil it in some clean water, proper water, and drink it. That skin contains a compound called dilimonene, which increases your testosterone and drops your estrogen back down.
Could I add honey to it?
Sorry?
Could I add honey to it?
That's a
You
sugar.
can add honey to it.
Natural honey, it's natural sugar.
And then, of course, after adding honey to it, it makes you better for the second honey, yes?
Sweet for your sweet.
When you say clean water, what's that? What counts as clean?
Not tap water,
Okay.
right? And if you're buying bottled water, you should have some kind of filter.
That you filter the bottled water.
Yes, filter.
Yeah, it's so much chemicals in there.
What about filtering tap water?
Sorry?
What about filtering tap water?
Depends on the type, the quality of the filter you have. Yes, if it's a good filter, you can filter out most things. But remember that in tap water, you not only have fluoride and all these kind of different things, but there are a lot of women out there who are still on the pill. And where is that estrogen from the pill going? Yes. In London, when you're using tap water, you're actually using recycled water from Reading.
7 times.
Yes, it goes back into the cleaners and everything else and comes down to London, some of it. So you have to make sure that you're drinking clean water. And I'll tell you what you can do. There's something very simple. If you get a large glass jar, okay, you put your bottled water in there. There is something called sugarite. Have you ever heard of sugarite?
Yeah.
No? People wear them around their neck. First one is coconut oil. Anti-cancer, antibacterial. Yes, and if you have a complaint called prostatitis, which is inflammation of the prostate, that's actually bacteria in your prostate causing problems. Okay, so the coconut oil is antibacterial. Anti-candida. You've heard of candida? It's a yeast.
Yeast infection that often.
Fungus. Yes? That is where a lot of problems in the body starts. If you can get rid of fungus out of your body, coconut oil will do all that for you. Yeah, reduces your risk substantially of getting cancer. Right. Turmeric we talk about, anti-cancer, cleans your liver, prevents Alzheimer's, reduces inflation.
Turmeric is in black pepper always.
Right. Onions. What do you think of onions?
Antioxidant.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Like onions?
Yeah.
Really, what do we eat and what not?
Right. What kind of onions are we talking about?
Red onions?
Red onions.
Red ones.
Red onions. How do you eat them?
Raw.
And don't tell me you just open your mouth and chew, right?
Why
Why are you eating them raw?
Sorry?
Why are you eating them raw?
You're trying to get the purple substance.
Right. You're trying to get the compound not to be destroyed by cooking. Yes. The compound is called quercetin.
You can get it from cabbage, red cabbage as well.
Quercetin.
Yeah, from purple cabbage, like dark.
Quercetin I would go to broccoli for. It's not broccoli up the road. Broccoli, yes. Right, broccoli. Okay. Quercetin. How about pineapples?
Pumpkin.
Anti-inflammatory.
Thinking.
Anti-inflammatory. They're quite good when you sort of do the lot. They flush out toxin and flush out acidity that was
They alkaline your body, they make your body more alkaline.
Yeah, it's-
Here's the beautiful thing about the compound in pineapples called bromelain. Cancer cells are said to be very smart. Yeah? They actually wrap themselves in a protein called fibrin. Right? So you will alkalize your body, right? And I'll tell you one of the best things you can do is to alkalize your body. So you can alkalize your body, but if this cancer cell is wrapped around in this fibrin, it can stay there, dormant, yes, most of your life, until your body becomes acidic. And then bingo, that cancer cell starts to spread again. So you really have to try to kill the cancer cell. Okay? The bromelain in the pineapple is one of the few things that can get rid of that fibrin, that protein that the cancer cell wraps itself in. It can penetrate that and kill the cell. So use your pineapple quite freely. Okay?
Pineapple juice or pineapples? The fruit. The juice
Yes.
or should it be the pineapple?
The juice, yes.
Right, not the actual fruit.
Well, it's the fruit. The juice is the fruit.
So eat the pineapple, get the juice.
Better to have, it's always better to have the fruit itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the fruit in your nature or eat the fruit or whatever. Okay? Right. Every gland in the human body depends on a certain mineral. So let's name the glands in the human body.
Prostate glands,
Sorry. Let's start
Thyroid.
the thyroid,
Thyroid is here.
Yeah.
Pituitary.
Let's start from the top.
the medulla,
The pituitary is, yes, is second one. What's the top one?
pineal gland.
Your pineal gland. That is your connection to source. Okay? The creator, your pineal gland. I'm going to say 2 words about that at the end of this presentation. Okay?
Pituitary,
Sorry.
pituitary glands.
Which gland?
I just said it to trigger something, but you mentioned the brain, but it's also a pituitary
So
gland.
you have the pineal, you have the pituitary, yes. Then you come into the thyroid. Then you have another gland called the thymus. Then you come down to the adrenal, which is on top of your kidneys. You know, your fight or flight glands, right? The stress gland, in other words. And then you have, in women, you have the ovaries. You have the mammary glands in the breast in women as well. And in the men, you have the prostate. Okay? And there's a particular food that if you eat it, you're going to reduce your risk of getting any type of cancer quite dramatically. You've heard of seafood, sea vegetables? Sea vegetables?
What do you mean by that?
Calcium.
Seaweed.
Seaweed, okay,
Yeah?
Sea moss?
Many different types of seaweed.
Irish moss?
That's my man. Irish moss. If you drink the Irish moss, and this is why a lot of guys in Jamaica, they drink the Irish moss with Guinness, yes, and it gives them a big lift. Right. What's doing the trick? That's the important thing. What's doing the trick? It's a mineral, a trace mineral. Your body only needs these minerals in small amounts. They're called trace minerals. And this particular one is iodine.
Ah.
20% of women in the world who have breast cancer have no iodine in their body. That's why they get breast cancer. And the same thing would apply to men with prostate cancer. want to reduce your risk of getting prostate cancer, or if you actually have prostate cancer already, which you may or may not know about, yes, start drinking your Irish moss. Or there's another one called bladderwrack. And your coconut will help, your turmeric will help. What else will help? Zinc. 80% of the zinc in your body is in your prostate gland. And I'm going to share something, and I'm going to see lots of sad faces after I've said this.
Don't have too much sex.
Lots of sad faces, right? Have you ever heard of something called tantric sex?
Yeah.
Have you ever practiced tantric sex?
Sorry, I never heard of it. It's getting on the TV, I'll say yes. Gentlemen.
Tantric.
No, never heard of it.
Tantric sex.
I hate it.
Right, you hit it.
Right. Steve is renowned for doing it.
The main principle behind tantric sex is this. If you're going to be intimate 10 times, you should only send your sperm into the world twice out of those 10 times. Another word for it is semen retention. Yeah?
In other words, have sex with the mother kind.
Yes.
Chinese did that long time.
But it's Eastern,
Yeah, that's what they do. The
yes,
cow-
tantric sex. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why you should do it. Let's say that you're not reproducing, procreating, right? You're not planning to have a baby. You're just having sex for pleasure. There are only two mammals in the world that have sex for pleasure. Human beings and the other one being a dolphin. Dolphins, yes. Right. Every other animal has a season. 2 weeks, a year, and that's it. Once that 2 weeks is finished, the female is out of rat, so nothing happens. Anyhow, when you send your sperm into the world needlessly, what are you doing? Zinc is one of the most important minerals that keep your prostate gland healthy and helps prevent it from enlarging. Right? So you're sending your zinc into the world needlessly to serve no purpose. Right? But in that zinc and in that semen, it's not only zinc, you have a whole lot of B vitamins. B vitamins that maintain your nerves. Because without the B vitamins, you'll be, yes, getting tingling of your nerves. Maintain your nerves. So your B vitamins. Then you have phosphorus, also known as lecithin. Yeah?
Also known as lecithin.
Lecithin, yes.
Lecithin you can buy in the natural product, and lecithin is on the back, you get lecithin.
Now, why are you swearing at me this
I can swear that you.
Why did you swear at me this morning? What did you say?
Alan Barrett.
You can buy it.
Okay, Holland and Barrett is not the ideal place.
Their lecithin that they sell comes from soy or soya,
Yeah.
which you shouldn't put in your body at all.
Yeah, not all of the lecithin is different versions, yeah.
Now, you can get lecithin from other sources, right? But phosphorus. And when you withhold all of that semen, your body reabsorbs it. And where does it go? Back into the prostate gland to help keep it healthy. Huh? Into your bones to keep them strong. And guess what? Into your brain. So people who have adequate amounts of phosphorus have very sharp brains.
And don't masturbate.
No, I know where chakras are done.
So, in fact,
You get all you.
The man called you a wanker.
on the 14th of January this year, there's a group called the 360 group, which I belong to. For the liver, get a small glass jar. The same little jar that you buy your coconut oil in, yes? Don't throw it away. Right, get one of those jars. And in that jar, you're going to put a few ingredients. All of these are very powerful ingredients that work synergetically to make you healthy. So the first one is 2 to 3 tablespoons of turmeric, powdered turmeric. You're not doing anything without turmeric, okay? And if you were using turmeric, what's the next thing you have to use?
Black pepper.
Black pepper. So now you can put like a teaspoon or 2 of black pepper.
So
What was the active ingredient of black pepper?
Sorry?
What was the active ingredient? Why do we want black pepper? What are we trying to get from the black pepper?
Piperine.
Piperine.
Yeah. Piperine and curcumin from the turmeric. Okay? Right, so you put those 2 in. The third ingredient you want is olive oil. Be careful with olive oil because a lot of stuff out there masquerading as olive oil is not really olive oil. It is mixed with other types of oil, yes? So when you go to buy it, you have to look for organic, yes? It must also say cold press, very similar to coconut oil. And it must say virgin, in that it is not mixed, it's not mixed with other things. So these are things you have to look out for, okay? So those are 3 of the ingredients. How much olive oil? You really want the powdered turmeric to soak it up because you want this to be a thick liquid. Yes, you want it to be
just
thick.
enough.
So it's going to soak it up quite a lot. And then the 4th ingredient is a yogurt called kefir. Yes, you come across kefir?
Yep.
K-E-F-I-R?
Yep.
Yes. Very important yogurt. You mix all of those up. And if you want to go one step further, you can get some kale, put it through your Ninja or Magic Bullet or whatever, and put that in there as well. And you stir it all up. And every morning, you take a tablespoon and swallow it. From sunlight, you should take a supplement. If it doesn't say D3, you're wasting your time. And you buy foods and you'll see just D or D2. They're synthetic. And anything synthetic going into your body is not absorbed. Your body doesn't see it as something it should absorb. Okay, so it must be D3. Okay, so what does vitamin D3 do? Well, for a start, it helps strengthen your bones. So if you're deficient in D3, you could suffer from osteoporosis or something like that. Right? What does the D3 do? It helps your prostate gland to be normal. Not to swell, but choke off your urethra so you can't beat powerfully. Yes, remember when you were a young man of 20 and 23, you could stand one side of the street and pee to the other side, couldn't you?
In a long time, right?
Not very long time, right? You're absolutely right.
Nowadays, when he goes to the bathroom, he's looking down on his shoes. Sit there back there.
That's why I say you're the open for
That's why Razzles comes at this.
Here's something you must be aware of. We've got the gentleman here on the second. Yes, you sir. Caucasian, yes?
Since birthday.
Lighter complexion. When the sun is shining and it's hot, and we want to synthesize vitamin D3, we go sit in the sunshine, yeah? Right. This gentleman sits in the sunshine for 15 minutes.
in Bono.
Yes?
He's early.
His hands bare, his legs bare. The ultraviolet rays hit his skin, and he synthesizes enough vitamin D3 for that day. 15 minutes in the sun. Okay? Mm-hmm. We who have a different type of melanin.
Melanin rich.
Yeah. We have, which is a natural sunscreen, by the way. You have to sit in that sun for 40 minutes.
Except we don't get the sun to do that.
Well, if you're going to use a supplement, then don't take tablets, whatever you do. Get a little vial that has drops in it, or squeeze it under your tongue, or put 3 drops under your tongue. It gets into the body very quickly. Yes. known as sublingual. They put it on your tongue.
I've only ever seen them in tablet form. So they don't have
Sorry?
I've only ever seen them in tablet form, but they know they're in liquid form.
In a spray version.
Okay.
Spray. So that's it. The final mineral I want to talk about is something called boron. Boron?
Yeah.
B-O-R-O-N. Boron. Trace minerals, yes.
Where did you get that?
Where did you get it?
Raisins.
Not from Holland and Barrett.
Raisins.
Sorry?
Raisins.
Raisins, yes.
Raisins?
What else?
Hazelnuts.
Sorry?
Hazelnuts.
Walnuts.
Nuts. You can get it from nuts as well, yes. Where else?
Shellfish? No.
Hold on. So many things to remember. Yeah. It's not exactly a nut as such, but it goes by the name of vitamin B17. If I say B17, does anybody know? Anti-cancer. It was banned in America for many, many years because anytime you come up against the big pharmaceutical companies with anything that can save human life or make, get rid of illness, no, you can't have that. But that paradigm is changing. People are beginning to realize, there are good quality things in this world. And this particular B17 is actually the seed of the apricot.
Ooh.
Are you going to eat that?
Apricot seeds. Have you ever been eating an apple and you bit the seed?
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Bitter.
Why? There's something in the seed that's bitter. What's that something?
Seaweed. Cyanide. Cyanide.
Cyanide, absolutely correct. But such a small amount, it is not going to affect you. Right? And the same thing applies to apples that come in the seed. But these apricots, bitter apricots, the seed has 4 cyanide. And you're only advised to eat about 2 to 3 per day. Because you don't want to poison yourself with excess cyanide. That kills cancer.
But the apricot seed is not very hard.
Cigar burkers?
No. But you crack the seed and it's the kernel in the seed.
I've never gone that far to have to do that.
No,
I've never cracked an apricot. I've never eaten the seed. I've never.
Right, in the seed itself, yes, there is the bit that you eat. Remember, if you were to take a seed, any kind of seed, and you wanted to plant it so it would grow, that seed has to have food inside so that young plant can feed on until the roots come. Really? And that's what we eat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you put it in the soil, warm and water, and then what's the first thing that does? It puts out roots first to feed itself. And that, until that happens, it is eating the food that nature has provided for it, which is what we eat.
It's almost the same process as a pregnant woman.
Sorry?
It's almost the same process as a pregnant woman. The food inside until the baby.
Yeah. Okay. So beetroot, vitamin D3, boron, right? What else? I'll tell you another thing to eat if you really want to stay healthy. Do you like okras?
Yeah.
Anyone here suffers from diabetes? Put some okras in some water at night before you go to bed. Wash the water properly, put them in there. Yes? Get up in the morning, drink it. Reduces your diabetes, your H1. What is it?
Yeah, so you just drink the water.
Yeah. Drink the water, okay? Anybody has an iron deficiency? Or you know any women who have iron deficiencies?
Yeah.
Maybe because they're,
Menstruating.
yes? I'll tell you what an easy thing to do. There are different types of iron. But here's a simple one. You like green bananas? Yes? Wash them properly. Boil them in some good clean water. Yes? And what do you do after that?
You drink the juice and the water in. Yeah. I know that
A
water
lot
come
of
back
people
home.
boil them and throw them
Yeah,
away.
that's right.
Yeah.
But the iron in the skin has leached into
Yes.
the water. So So now you drink that water, you get iron in your system, right? And then you can feed your bananas and eat them meat. EPA and DHA, and you can only get them from animal protein. Okay? Like fish oils, that's why you take your omega-3 fish oils, and you eat your wild salmon, not the farm one, yes. You eat your mackerels and you take your cod liver oil. That's where you get those acids from.
Your own personal diet, probably what to do your investigation, because like, you know, meat, even fish, you know, I eat a lot of fish, but the point is that you have to do your own investigation, find what works for you. Because if it's overcooked, it's just as deadly, and sometimes it depends where it's farmed from. That's always said, know where your food's coming from.
Yeah.
So if you take this attitude about, okay, I'm going to eat meat, McDonald's full of burgers, their meat is overcooked anyway.
You've touched on something very interesting there with McDonald's.
Say that you again.
My goodness me, I don't know if I want to say it. It is so horrible. Milk is something, cow's milk is something you should stay away from. Okay, why? Why?
It's not made for
When
you.
is a cow milk?
And it's pregnant.
Soon after it's given birth. Yes? At that point in time, that milk is full of the female hormone estrogen. Yes? And when it's pasteurized or not, that estrogen is still in there. So if you get into the habit of drinking cow's milk, you're pumping your body full of estrogen, plus the antibiotics and other things that they feed those cows. Go back to mad cow disease, everybody remembers that?
Yeah.
That's in part where it's stemming from, what they fed the cows. They were actually feeding the cows parts of other animals, which cows are not supposed to eat. So the food chain is highly toxic and highly polluted. So you have to be careful. Remember, your body's a tensylene and glutamate,
Yeah, no.
which gives the food its taste. And that food is,
Like crap.
what did they say, is as addictive as heroin. You can't eat it like that. Sugar is addictive.
But is it true though about chickens?
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
Can I, so that this could go on, and then you guys, and
Sorry, I just got one question. I've been trying. Right, this one. Sorry, it's right. So this one's around saturated fats and oils. So at my university, there was a research being done, and they said one of the bad oils that was shown was coconut oil. So one of the bad oils in this country was the use of coconut oil.
Yeah.
So when I questioned it, or I questioned one of the researchers, and what he was saying was that how it's not the coconut oil itself, but the type of coconut oil that the people were buying over the counter.
Let me tell you the reason for that statement about coconut oil. Prior to the Second World War, the farmers in America used to sell a lot of coconut oil, but they had to import the oil from Southeast Asia. Coconut trees don't grow in America. All right? So remember, money is the main driver of everything. So they got together one day and said, look, we want something that we can grow here in America. We're using all this money to import coconuts, yes? And our profit margins have dropped. We want to make some more money. And so they introduced something called soy, or soya, whatever you want to call it. A major hormone disruptor. Okay? And then they put their marketing people to work, and they found some coconut oil that had been sitting in some warehouse for years and years and years, and it was rancid. And they gave these scientists this oil to test. And the scientists came up with the report they wanted. Coconut oil is this, coconut oil is that, coconut oil is what have you. Right? Totally false. Why? Because people started gravitating now over the last 20 years or so back to coconut oil and are deriving numerous benefits from it. That challenges the big pharmaceutical and agricultural companies, so you're not going to have it.
also, on top of that, when I was a teenager, I was like reading up about different aspects of health and dietary things, and I found out there's a massive debate between the scientists and the food industry about the health benefits of saturated fat specifically. Basically, like, the scientific community was largely in agreement that saturated fats in and of themselves are not bad, whereas like the food industry, they were really demonizing saturated fats. They were really trying to push unsaturated fats in the form of most plant oils are predominantly unsaturated fats, except for that coconut.
So that is horizontal. That's it. Put it down. Left leg. And you do that for about 5 minutes per day. Okay, that's the first one. Yeah.
Just doing that.
Yes. That is for the prostate, yes?
Is it?
Yes. That's an exercise for the prostate.
5 minutes.
Yes. Do that every day. You gotta turn around, get up, turn around. And you just stand up, and you go, you can lean on something, and you do this one. Yes. Lift your foot behind you. Behind you. And do that for a couple of minutes as well. Do it every day. That's for the prostate.
Damn.
There. Is that? Yes. It's as simple as that.
Yoga class.
And the other one, of course, is squats. Yes, do the squats.
Which is also good for your blood pressure.
Yeah, simple. And you benefit your prostate, right?
So that is just kicking back like that.
Yeah. Now, I've got a little credit card here. I'm going to put my glasses on.